Phoenix, the sprawling heart of the Southwest, is on the brink of a transit revolution that's rewriting its car-centric identity. Long, straight boulevards still slice through neighborhoods, and suburbs stretch to the horizon, but a new wind is blowing through this desert city. Today, Phoenix is booming with major rail projects, new light rail lines, the long-awaited return of Amtrak, and a massive BRT network all taking shape at once. Together, they're set to redefine how people move, connect, and live. So how is Phoenix turning this vision into reality? Let's find out in today's episode with Onthetrains. But to understand where Phoenix is heading, we have to look back at where it began. Historical context. Before Phoenix was known for its wide freeways and long lines of cars baking under the scorching desert sun, there was a more familiar sound to the city than the clanging of streetcars each morning. In 1888, the first streetcars, then pulled by horses, began rolling. They carried the dream of a more modern and connected city. Just a few years later, Phoenix switched to real streetcars. Even though the population was just over 5,000 at the time, the streetcar network still ran through the neighborhoods, bustling every day. Back then, public transportation was not a luxury or a nice-to-have. It was what kept the city breathing, helped people move around, meet and build their first rhythms of life in the desert. But then everything changed. By the 1940s, the streetcars began to deteriorate. Then in 1947, a massive fire burned down the station, ending the streetcar era overnight. Without trains, Phoenix was forced to turn to buses, but buses were slow congested and the city kept expanding. So Phoenix gradually became the capital of the automobile, where every road was made to serve drivers. Freeways sprang up, suburbs spread, and driving became a way of life for the entire city. But as the population surpassed 1.3 million, Phoenix began to feel suffocated. Traffic jams, pollution, and skyrocketing transportation costs, people began to think, this can't go on forever. So in 2000, the city launched Transit 2000, a bold commitment to bring public transportation back to Phoenix. And so the Valley Metro light rail line was born. It started small but grew faster than anyone could have imagined. Not only was it convenient, but it also evoked memories of the time when Phoenix once boasted its own light rail network. Now Phoenix is entering a new chapter of the return of the train, of a more connected, greener, and more equitable city. What do you think? Is Phoenix really returning to the golden age of rail? If you're curious and want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more updates on World Train. Phoenix's transportation revolution. At the heart of this shift is the $1.34 billion South Central Light Rail extension, officially opened on June 7, 2025. The new 5.5-mile line connects the downtown core with South Mountain Village, adding 8 new stations: Jefferson, the 3rd Avenue, Washington, the 3rd Street, 7th Avenue, Buckeye Central, Southern Lincoln, 1st Avenue, Lincoln Central Avenue, Roser Central Avenue, and Central Baseline. Each stop was designed to serve long overlooked neighborhoods, giving residents easier access to jobs, schools, Arizona State University, and even Sky Harbor Airport. For the first time, Phoenix now operates 2 parallel light rail lines, the A-Line Mesa to downtown and the B-Line Northwest to Baseline. They intersect at a new downtown hub where transfers are faster and more seamless than ever. During rush hour, trains arrive every 7-10 minutes, a frequency that rivals many major U.S. cities. Alongside the 8 stations, Valley Metro introduced 14 new light rail vehicles, improving capacity and reliability across the system. At Baseline Road and Central Avenue, a new 110-space park-and-ride lot gives commuters an easy way to leave their cars behind. New bike lanes, wider sidewalks, and over 550 new trees now line the route, creating shade and comfort in the desert heat. With desert-adapted landscaping and public art at every stop, the extension feels more like a community space than just a stretch of track. And beneath the surface, the city carried out a massive utility overhaul, replacing more than 30 miles of underground infrastructure, the kind of invisible upgrade that quietly prepares Phoenix for decades of growth to come. On opening day, more than 5,000 residents joined officials for the ribbon-cutting ceremony. The mood was electric. The mayor called it a historic milestone, noting that it would not only improve mobility but also make the city greener and more vibrant. Yet for Phoenix, this is just the first track laid in a much bigger plan: Phoenix's next move. The South Central project is only the first step. Under the Transportation 2050 plan, a $16.7 billion voter-approved master plan, Phoenix aims to build a multimodal network connecting buses, light rail, cyclists, and pedestrians under one smart system. Next comes 75 miles of bus rapid transit BRT corridors along key routes like I-10 West, featuring dedicated lanes, signal priority, and shaded stations, vital in summer heat exceeding 110 degrees 43 degrees. These buses will run faster and more reliably, averaging 20 mph even in dense corridors. Transportation 2050 also invests in 135 miles of new sidewalks, expanded ADA accessibility, and extended late-night service across all 15 cities in the metro area. Another highlight is the Capital Extension project scheduled for completion in 2028, linking downtown with the Arizona State Capitol complex. Once delayed, it now stands as proof that Phoenix intends to finish what it started, but Phoenix isn't stopping there. The city's next big step, the arrival of Amtrak in Phoenix. For the first time in more than 25 years, Phoenix is getting Amtrak. It may seem like a small thing, but for the people here, it's a big deal. The city was served by the Sunset Limited until 1996, when the line moved south through Maricopa. Since then, Phoenix has been the largest city in the country without direct Amtrak service, and many have waited too long for that to change. Now things are starting to look up again. Plans to connect Phoenix and Tucson have been in the works since 2015, but this time it looks like it's actually happening. The project aims to run 3 round trips a day each way, taking about 2 hours and 25 minutes, which is fast, convenient, and most importantly will alleviate chronic congestion on I-10. Rather than rebuilding from scratch, the new line will run on existing Union Pacific infrastructure, leveraging old track to save costs while still ensuring efficiency. The real turning point came in December 2023 when the Federal Railroad Administration officially approved $500,000 for the first phase of the project. The money is just a fraction of the $349 million federal funding package for Arizona, but it is the first time Phoenix has been given the green light to plan for Amtrak's return. According to the Arizona Department of Transportation, ADOT, this phase will take 2 to 3 years to study everything from station locations, passenger demand, to the cost of upgrading the track and future maintenance. The state has set aside $10.6 million for the work, and once completed, the project will be eligible for a full engineering and environmental review, which will take another 2 to 3 years. On the government side, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs has also pledged $3.5 million to support the process, making it clear that the state is serious about reviving Amtrak. Representative Greg Stanton even said, "This is a huge step forward in connecting communities and opening up more travel options for people." If all goes according to plan, the Phoenix-Tucson line will reduce congestion, cut emissions, and most importantly, bring passenger trains back to central Arizona for the first time in more than 2 decades. Many experts believe the rail line could become a model for interregional rail systems in the Southwest, where cars have long dominated, funding and a longer vision. Behind all of this is a massive financial strategy coordinated by federal, state, and local governments. The South Central Extension project is funded by hundreds of millions of dollars from the Federal Transportation Infrastructure Fund, part of a nationwide infrastructure investment program. Meanwhile, the Transportation 2050 plan is funded by a local sales tax that runs through 2050, approved by Phoenix residents in a referendum. In other words, this is a project of the people for the people. Phoenix is looking beyond the city limits to the entire state. Valley Metro Director Jessica Mefford Miller said it best when she said, "This isn't just about adding track. This is about connecting people, creating equity, and building resilience across the region." The community is feeling it too. On social media platform X account, Sorry It's All Phoenix 2, or in articles, images and positive feedback from many different sides are constantly posted. Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego said, "Phoenix is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, and it is important that we have a multimodal transportation system that meets the needs of our residents and helps them thrive. Although there are also mixed negative opinions. Great, more options for homeless and criminals to get around. What a waste of money." While there is still work to be done, Phoenix is clearly on the right track. With strong funding, citizen support, and a long-term vision, the city is moving beyond its kingdom of driver's image to become a greener, smarter, and more livable city where mobility is not just a necessity but an experience to be proud of. And while the city builds forward, it's also reclaiming something long lost.